All right, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. This is Mike Albert from the One Drop Shower Ministry of Preparedness. We're in the field, what's called Field Day for ham radio operators, and we're gathered here today right now in Long Island, New York, with Pete, right, and Matt, and they're going to discuss the importance of operating ham in the aftermath of something catastrophic. The Bible tells us that we need to be witnesses and to go and spread the gospel in the end times right before Christ comes. And what better way to spread that than through mass media such as ham radio when there's no battery powers, there's no lights, no electricity, and these guys are ready at a turnkey solution to do this. So Pete, if you could explain to us what exactly is all this set up, and I'll turn the camera in a minute to show you guys this, and how people can get involved, and how far actually can we really talk to one another.
Hi, how are you? So ham radio is, first it's a hobby, and it's a hobby that you can enjoy when you're 16 years old or when you're 66 years old or older. The part of the hobby that we're really demonstrating today is called high frequency, or HF. And we're basically communicating with other states all throughout the United States and Canada using generator power, and we're out at West Hills Park. My radio is hooked up to an antenna, and when I talk, like we just spoke with somebody from Michigan, it goes from my antenna to his antenna with nothing in between. There's no internet. So all we need is electrical power. We also have radios that work on battery power. Today we're using a generator because we have about 4 other radios going at the same time. But you can use battery power. And to give you an idea of what you can do, I also do some Morse code. And with 1 watt Morse code, actually less than 1 watt, a couple of days ago I was able to contact Texas and some other states. So that's strictly off of the battery.
That's like 1,500 miles from Long Island to Texas?
Yeah,
Wow.
Yep. That is using Morse code. Today we're using mostly voice, but Morse code is still alive in the amateur radio community. And today is Field Day. We call it Field Day. It's throughout the United States and Canada. People go out into the field like we're doing today, and we contact one another. It is a contest. We try to see how many other people we can contact. Over the course of 24 hours, we started setting up at 10 o'clock this morning. We're operating for 24 hours until 2 o'clock tomorrow, and then we pack up and go home. But it's fun meeting new people. It's fun meeting new people on the air, and getting people involved in what I think is a fantastic hobby for the young and old.
Explain to people, how does ham operation play a role in an off-grid situation, something catastrophic, an EMP attack, lights, no electricity? Where does they come into the role with people that are engaged now, like our first responders that we have, military, police, law enforcement, and without them, how do we get back on the grid by ham radio?
So ham radio is used as a backup emergency coordination. For example, I know during Superstorm Sandy, we had amateur operators that were in one of the shelters in Huntington, and they were getting information back to the Emergency Coordination Center via amateur radio. This event today is sort of a preparedness. I mean, if everything went down, yes, we could go out into the field, start our generator up, and communicate with a good part of America. Luckily, we haven't been able to do that. We've not needed to do that, but that's what we practice for.
But what would be the need to do that for? Why have ham radio? What is the information that's being transmitted back and forth?
Well, basically, doesn't involve the grid, because if there is a major disaster, the grid's going to go down. And if the grid goes down, there are no cell phones, there are no telephones, there's no TV, there's I don't know, maybe some radio, but if New York had to speak with California and the grid was totally down, it could be done via amateur radio. Just from my radio to my antenna to somebody in California with the same setup. You just need electricity.
I'm going to say something.
Matt wants to say. Matt's been doing this for 25 years, so let's see what he has to say.
Well, can I answer your question with the grid going down?
Yes.
When 9/11 happened, members of lockdowns, we went down. They had stations at the Red Cross, and what they did is they had to get supplies to the first responders. So they had operators in like junior high schools in New York City with UHF, VHF equipment, and then they would talk to the Red Cross, and they would say, we need supplies, clothing, food, water, and that's how they helped out.
Would you say that the ham operators are more efficient and mobile than?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
More in the field as compared to a hardened structure and bunkered down into a building. You guys can get a backpack and go into a mountain and do this.
Yeah, God forbid, if we had say we had an earthquake. Say it was an earthquake in California.
Yeah.
And
12.0 destroys everything.
Okay. Now they have to get people out, but they have to get supplies in. So you can have a radio operator, set up like very quick.
Tell you which roads are blocked off.
And you
problems.
do that, and then they can contact other operators, say maybe outside of the earthquake area, and with the Red Cross they can bring in supplies.
Now is ham just for land? Is it good for marine or for aviation?
Yes, it's got on this when we were operating this before, they have a marathon there. It's 14.300 megahertz. Operates every day, all year round, 24. I think it's 24 hours, and anyone could check in, but the priority is people in boats.
But they're amateur radio operators.
They're amateur radio operators.
They're amateur radio operators who are on boats who will communicate back and forth.
I'll give you a good example.
Amateur radio.
Years ago, a kid was out in the Caribbean somewhere, and a car's attacked. The kid got wounded, and through the marathon net, they got help and they got him, to get him to medical attention.
Okay.
Save the kid's life.
Nice.
Because of that net.
Okay. How can people get involved? We have actually probably a few ham operators listening now on YouTube here and Facebook. If you guys want, you can give your call signs, or you can just tell people how to get involved.
That's correct.
Yeah. So it is easy to get involved. We're part of a club. It's called the Lockfield Amateur Radio Club, and our website is lockfield.org, www.lockfield, LARKFIELD.org. The national group for amateur radio is called the ARRL, or American Radio Relay League, and you can find them on the internet, www.arrl.org or .com, I'm not sure, but it's the American Radio Relay League. And they have all the information there on how you can get involved. There are tests that you need to take. There are books that you purchase, and you read the book. You can read the books. There are some courses that are given, and you take the exam, pass the course, and you get your license. And there are 3 different classes, and with each class, you get more and more privileges in the.
Could you explain the test a little more? From my understanding, it's a certain number of questions you could study from, and they give you the correct answer, and then there's only a certain number that they test you on.
Right. So they're either 200 or 300. I think they're 200 questions, and you get all of those questions with the answers. And then when you go for the test, they give you I think 20 of those questions. So the e-test, is it 20?
The test is 35, and the
35. Okay, it's been a while.
Answer pool is, I think, 350.
Okay.
I think they're about the same for both tech and general.
So basically, you have the questions beforehand, and if you study the questions and the answers, that's the best best way to prepare.
And what are the classes, different types of classes? 3 different classes of licenses, right?
Right, so the first class gives you privileges on VHF, and this is a VHF radio that we can use to talk locally. And the next one is general class, and there are some more privileges, especially on the high frequency bands. Those are the bands that will get you cross country and to Europe and around the world. And then there's the extra, which is gets you really all of the privileges on all of the bands. It used to be that you needed to learn Morse code to become a ham. No longer. You don't need to know Morse code. It's a lot of fun, but you don't need to know it to get all your licenses.
Excellent, excellent. A lot of good information. All right, folks, thanks for joining us here, and we're going to wrap this up. We're going to show you some of the equipment real quick, and explain what it is. And it's very important to understand this, because in the aftermath of something catastrophic, we need to be able to reach each other, to spread the gospel, to tell people about Jesus Christ. And when we do this, we're going to be able to get into the kingdom, get everybody else into the kingdom. So I'm going to turn the camera around, and I'll explain to you real quick what this equipment is. So this is a transmitter.
This is a transceiver.
A transceiver, and you can hear this. What it's picking up. A lot of buttons there. Now, what's the difference between this? What's the difference between this little handheld one here and this big unit here?
The big unit is different frequencies and will go around the world.
Okay, frequencies comes down to.
I'll tell you where this gentleman's from. Hold on a second.
Oh, he's going to give you an example. He's going to cue in and get in touch.
He's probably from Pennsylvania. He's a Whiskey 3.
Shirley, copy 8 Echo Western Pennsylvania.
He's in Weston, Pennsylvania. You gonna go?
We got a number. He did online PSA.
Copy 2 Foxtrot, Eastern New York. Here's luck and Georgia from Whiskey 3 Lima, India Foxtrot. Kilo 5 Alpha Radio Golf. Please copy 8 Echo Western Pennsylvania.
Kilo 5, somebody in Texas.
You wanna? Can you try to cue in and get someone? And then we'll close it up.
Kilo 1 X-ray.
Let's see who this is.
Alpha Kilo 1 X-ray. Please copy 8 Echo Western Pennsylvania.
Do we have him?
Can you put him up and see what
I
he
copy 1 Delta Echo Mike Alpha. Good luck and thank you. QSS from Whiskey 3 Lima, India Foxtrot.
So we have him already in our logbook.
Okay, so they try to get different people each time.
That's Virginia. Let's see what his call sign is.
November 3, Kilo Bravo Fox, good afternoon. Copy 1 Delta India Lima.
He's in Illinois. This gentleman is in Illinois.
We're reaching Illinois from Long Island.
White Delta Charlie. 7-3, good luck to you. Whiskey 9 Zulu, fielding. Fielding, Kilo 8 Bravo Fox. Whiskey 3 Uniform Alpha Sierra, good afternoon. Copy 1 Delta India Lima.
So you got to wait your turn in between people.
A lot of people try to answer at once, but not everybody can hear each other, so they don't
Whiskey
know.
Bravo
that.
2, Uniform Papa November.
Delta, K9 Victor Delta, please copy 4 Alpha Ohio. Charlie, ending Charlie Alpha. Ending Charlie Alpha. Okay, 1 Delta Western Washington. Alright, got you that time. Whiskey 4 Charlie Alpha, Sophie 4 C8. Copy 1 Delta India Lima, 1 Denmark, 4 Alpha India Lima.
We got 2 Alpha South Texas. Thank you very much. Kilo 8 Bravo Fox.
Here's the report.
There are 2 stations right on top of one another.
Alpha Alpha 0, come back please.
Okay, got it. 2 Alpha, Victor Alpha. 2 Alpha, Victor Alpha. Okay, 2 Alpha, Victor Alpha. Is that correct? All right, 7-3. Good luck to you. Whiskey 9 Zulu, field day, W9Z.
Whiskey Bravo 2, Uniform Papa November.
November radio something, November radio.
Whiskey Bravo 2, Uniform Papa November.
November radio 3 Kilo, good afternoon. Copy 1 Delta into Lima. November 0, come back please. US Delta 2 Echo, Echo Papa Alpha, got it. 7-3, good luck and have fun. Whiskey 9 Zulu, field day.
Whiskey Bravo 2, Uniform Papa November.
Kilo 1 with the Gulf again.
He's not hearing me.
Yeah, okay, I missed some of this. I got the Kilo 1 Gulf, wait, I didn't get